Hello YouTube, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is my first official reaction. The video is called The Killer the FBI Couldn't Catch but Random People Did. It has 2.28 million subs. Make sure you guys go and show love to the channel. I will be posting the link in the description, so if you guys want to go check out the video for yourselves, you guys are more than happy to go and check the video out for yourselves. I don't have that much stuff to be saying that. The sign that you want to see to know a killer, because sometimes she's not safe, man. Could be your man's, and we don't know. But we're gonna get to the bottom of this shit, so you can see the signs, how to tell if somebody's a killer. I'm not telling y'all to go out there and just pointing at random people. No, you're gonna get your ass beat framing innocent people for crimes they didn't do. If you know what you're capable of, you should know what other people are capable of. If I'm capable of like killing, I believe somebody else is capable of killing. A place that's like too many people, I don't like it, because there's a lot of moving parts and there's a lot of things happening, and I'm only one person. Now you see me, you think like, oh, he mad. No, I'm focused with what's being said, what's happening. That's why I keep myself away from these places. I don't think I'm made to be around these places. You know, let's get to the video, bro.
You're about to hear 3 mysteries that have been solved by viewers just like you, and a 4th that is currently unsolved and desperately needs your help. This is what they did on the show Unsolved Mysteries. They put unsolved cases in front of as many eyes as possible in hopes that someone watching knew something that could blow the case wide open. And as you'll see, it worked. That's why at the end of the video, we'll be discussing one new case that is currently ongoing and needs one final clue, one final piece of information before it can be solved. Perhaps someone watching can help. Perhaps that person could be you. It was a quiet Easter Sunday in 1990.
But
Ray and
first of all, I'm not doing that, bro. I want to know how much evidence you have on this person. That if one clue that I tell you sends them straight to jail. There's some shady ass lawyers who protect these murderers and these killers. Like, how can you call yourself a lawyer for the money? Like, no. If I'm a lawyer, you're a killer, I'm fighting against you. Make sure they throw you in prison. That's what a lawyer is supposed to be. Innocent bystanders who mind their business, or just working citizens. Gotta go to work, take care of all their business. Now they gotta deal with this person. You know he was a murderer, but you defended him, and now he's in the streets.
Thornton were out on their usual drive along Snow Prairie Road, a rural highway about 12 miles outside of Coldwater, Michigan.
Let's watch this shit.
But their quiet routine was shattered when, in the rearview mirror, they noticed a speeding van approaching them from behind. It closed the distance within moments and shot past their car. Geez, he's in a hurry, Marie said, making a joke under the van's license plate that started with GZ. They didn't think much of it until they saw the van again a few miles later, this time parked near an abandoned schoolhouse. As they passed, Marie looked over and froze. She caught sight of the driver, carrying what looked like a blood-stained sheet toward the back of the building. They had no idea what they'd just seen, but they knew it was bad. When Ray checked the mirror again, the van was back, right behind them again, closing in fast. Behind the wheel of the white van was a man named Dennis Depew. He was married to a woman named Marilyn, a well-respected high school counselor in Coldwater, Michigan. The couple had 3 children, 2 girls and a boy. From the outside, they seemed like an ordinary, well-off family. But behind closed doors, things were falling apart. Dennis became increasingly bitter and distant, convinced that Marilyn was turning the children against him. Marilyn, tired of feeling unhappy, filed for divorce in 1989 after 18 years of marriage. Following the separation, Dennis was given limited visitation with the kids, who often refused to see him. Marilyn told her attorney that Dennis continued to try and control nearly every aspect of her life. Even though he made no claim on the family home, he kept using a small office space in the garage. Marilyn eventually changed the laws.
Make sure if you marry somebody, you know exactly who you marry.
One day, she walked into her living room and found Dennis just sitting there on the couch. Tensions continued to escalate for months until Easter Sunday, 1990. Dennis arrived to pick up his children, but his son Scott was reluctant to go with him, and his daughter Julie flat out refused. Marilyn stepped in, trying to calm the situation, but Dennis's anger only grew. He grabbed her, shouting. In the chaos, he pushed Marilyn down the basement stairs of the house. As their children looked on, terrified, he continued to attack her at the bottom of the staircase. Jennifer, the eldest daughter, immediately ran to the neighbors to call police. Seeing this, Dennis made a sudden decision. He carried the badly injured Marilyn to his van, telling the children he was taking her to the hospital.
I'm not
Within
taking this side
minutes,
if you guys
a police
don't
search
know.
for both Dennis
Like,
and Marilyn was underway.
You
The
always
next
have a
time
choice.
Dennis and his van were spotted was when he passed the Thorntons on Snow Prairie Road and stopped at the abandoned schoolhouse. Now he was driving behind them again, but this time he wasn't passing. Instead, he just menacingly rode their bumper for the next 2 miles. The couple couldn't shake the feeling that they had witnessed a crime in progress and decided that they needed to report the man to the police. They knew the first 2 letters of his license plate, GZ, because of their joke from earlier, but couldn't remember the rest. And since front license plates are not required in the state of Michigan, they would need to get behind his vehicle if they wanted to see the license plate. With quick thinking, they swerved off the highway onto a dirt road so they could turn their car around, maybe to catch a glimpse of the license plate again. When they came back to the highway, they saw that the van had pulled over. As they got closer, they realized what he was doing, changing the license plate. The passenger door was open, and inside, they caught a glimpse of what seemed to be blood smeared across the door and interior. Realizing that getting the license plate was not an option, the Thorntons decided to instead speed back toward the abandoned school. There, they discovered the blood-soaked sheet, partially shoved into an animal hole in the ground near the building. They immediately contacted the police to report what they found. If this sequence of events with the van sounded at all familiar, it might be because the opening scenes of both the original 2001 Jeepers Creepers film and its 2022 reboot were inspired by the true events that Ray and Mary Thornton experienced that day. When the forensic team sealed off the abandoned schoolhouse, they determined that the tire tracks matched those on Depew's van, and the blood on the sheet was Marilyn's. The evidence left little doubt. The hunt for the missing couple had now turned into a murder case. Marilyn's body was later discovered on a deserted road, roughly halfway between her home and the schoolhouse. The official cause of death was a single gunshot wound to the back of the head. As police searched for Dennis, he began sending bizarre letters to family and friends. In the 17 letters postmarked from Virginia, Iowa, and Oklahoma, he blamed everyone but himself for what happened. In one instance, he mailed an 11-page letter, along with copies of divorce documents. In it, Dennis writes in third person, claiming that Marilyn chose to throw Dennis over the fence and stay on her side of the fence with the children, house, furniture, and make Dennis pay college expenses. Dennis got very, very hurt when Marilyn threw Dennis over the fence. He also included what he referred to as interesting thoughts, such as an eye for an eye, a life for a life. For months, Depew stayed once.
But I understand that you don't want to be a slave to a person. Women do this a lot though, but that's not an excuse for you to go and start killing people. If you get in a relationship with somebody, know exactly who you get in a relationship with. Because at the end of the day, bro, you gotta spend your whole life with them. There's no excuse for what he did, marrying somebody or giving your life to somebody just so you guys can have kids, and it just doesn't work out. They're gonna make you pay child support. They're gonna use you. You're being used, but you gotta take that and just continue moving forward.
Ahead, successfully managing to evade capture. Authorities had no idea where he disappeared to, but everything changed when his case aired on national television. On March 20th, 1991, the TV show Unsolved Mysteries featured the Depew case. During the broadcast, a woman named Linda Blizzard in Dallas, Texas, came home to something unusual. Her boyfriend, Hank Queen, had parked his van outside of the garage, which was very unusual for him to do. When she walked in, she found him rushing around the house, packing hurriedly. He said he'd gotten a call that his mother had suffered a stroke and that he had to leave immediately. Linda helped him gather a few things, pack some food for the road, and gave him a hug goodbye. Later, she recalled feeling an odd sense that this might be the last time she saw him. She'd met Hank 5 months ago at a club on Halloween. By December, he was living with her. But both Linda and her friend Barbara Harris had their doubts. Hank never spoke about his past or his family, and when he did leave the house, which was rare, he would wear dark sunglasses no matter the time of day. The two women often discussed how little they really knew about him. Linda even at one point hired a private investigator to find out more about his past, but
if you
nothing came
catch
up.
yourself doing all this stuff, there's something going on. If you don't feel comfortable asking them these questions, there's something wrong. You gotta get out there. Go or call the police. Something.
While Linda was saying her goodbyes to Hank, her friend Barbara was at her house busy watching Unsolved Mysteries. When she saw Hank's face on the screen, she realized the truth. He wasn't Hank Queen. He was Dennis Depew, a wanted murderer. Shocked, Barbara first called Linda to warn her about what she'd seen. Then, she called the show's tip line and gave authorities the license plate number of his van. Meanwhile, Dennis drove 4 frantic hours through the state of Louisiana towards Mississippi. Louisiana state troopers eventually spotted his van and initiated a 15-mile high-speed chase, while authorities across the border, alerted by the FBI, prepared to intercept. When Dennis barreled through a Mississippi roadblock, deputies opened fire, blowing out his rear tires. Even then, he kept going, exchanging gunfire with officers and attempting to ram their vehicles. The pursuit finally ended around 4 a.m. when officers forced the van to a stop. As they approached, they found Dennis Depew dead inside, his revolver still in his hand. The terror was over, but for the Depew children, the loss was unimaginable. And while his crimes would later inspire the opening of Jeepers Creepers, the real horror stayed with Ray and Marie Thornton far longer than any movie scene ever could. Depew's case ended in tragedy, but at least all questions had answers.
Hey guys, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching into this video. I was editing and I decided that the other 2 suspects, they weren't very interesting, so I cut the video in 2, and it was a very long video. And I know nobody's gonna watch that long ass video. You guys could just watch it yourself. So I will post the other part of the video tomorrow, or whenever I get to it. I'm kind of just like, you know, just doing this thing just to do it. So when I get time, I'll post the other part, I'll edit it and give my 2 cents and post it. But it's Dennis Depew guy, he died at the end. I hate when that happens though, because is that justice though? Yeah, like if somebody did all this stuff and then at the end they commit suicide. But yeah, there's no excuse for what he did. No matter what happens, bro, like just keep your head straight, man. Keep moving forward, bro. Don't let the female control your emotions, you know. I see a lot of people, the females control their emotions. Don't let it happen, bro. If you know you're gonna be tender, don't marry somebody just because you don't have any options, bro. Just, you know, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself first, and then the other things will take care of themselves, you know. Do your thing, bro. You don't have to, even like you married to somebody, they betray you in a way, it does not give you an excuse to murder them, you know. Now you don't have the kids. The kid didn't fuck with you at first, right? And you feel like you needed to get revenge, and now you just put yourself in a hole. And this guy went and then found a whole different wife. You could have done that. You just could have done that first. You could have just went and found a whole different person and then just continue living your life. But you decided to fuck your shit up. And that's up to you, man. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you want to. For you guys who made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching. And for you guys who didn't do, also thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you. See you guys in the next video. Bye.